Introduction. The Girl in the Tower. Hello my friends, welcome to Storytime English. Take a slow breath, find a comfortable place, and let this story begin. Imagine a young girl, about 20 years old, sitting in a cold, dark room inside a castle. The door is locked, and armed soldiers stand guard outside. She does not know if she will live or die tomorrow. This girl has no army, no money, and no friends in power. Her own sister, the Queen of England, put her here out of distrust. But this girl will survive, and one day, she will become one of the most powerful rulers the world has ever known. Her name was Elizabeth, and her story begins with a tragedy. The context of the 1500s and Elizabeth's birth. To understand her journey, you must know that in the 1500s, men ruled England. No one believed a woman could rule a country on her own. Women were expected to be quiet, marry well, and produce sons. The year was 1533. Elizabeth was born to King Henry VIII and his second wife, Anne Boleyn. King Henry desperately wanted a son, so when Elizabeth was born, he was deeply disappointed. Tragedy and becoming nobody. When Elizabeth was just 2 years old, the king had her mother, Anne Boleyn, arrested under false accusations and executed. Elizabeth was too young to ever remember her mother's face. After Anne's death, the king declared Elizabeth illegitimate, removing her from the line of succession. In one moment, Elizabeth went from being a princess to being almost nobody. Growing up in danger, yet this lonely girl had a brilliant mind. Growing up in quiet country houses, she mastered Latin, Greek, French, Italian, and Spanish. More importantly, she learned to be careful. England was a dangerous, divided place. After King Henry died, Elizabeth's Catholic sister, Mary, became queen. Mary ruled with fear, burning nearly 300 Protestants for their beliefs, earning the terrifying name, Bloody Mary. Imprisoned in the Tower. Because Elizabeth was Protestant, Mary viewed her as a threat. In 1554, Mary ordered her soldiers to lock Elizabeth in the Tower of London, the very prison where her mother had been executed. Elizabeth sat on the stone steps and famously said, "Here sits the most unhappy prisoner in the tower." She remained imprisoned and watched for over a year, waiting in silence. From prisoner to queen, life can change in a single day. In November 1558, Queen Mary died without children. By law, the crown passed to Elizabeth. She was 25 years old. When the news reached her, she looked up at the sky and said in Latin, "This is the Lord's doing, and it is wonderful in our eyes." The forgotten girl was now the Queen of England. The struggles of a new queen. On January 15, 1559, Elizabeth was crowned amidst cheering crowds. But ruling was hard. England was bankrupt, the army was weak, and religious conflict was tearing the country apart. Elizabeth was clever. She listened to her trusted advisor, William Cecil, chose her words carefully, and refused to be rushed into bad decisions. The decision not to marry. The biggest question everyone asked was, when will the Queen marry? Everyone expected her to choose a husband so a man could rule. But Elizabeth refused every foreign prince. She had seen her mother lose her life and her sister lose her power to marriage. She told her parliament, "I have already joined myself in marriage to a husband, and that husband is the Kingdom of England." She became known as the Virgin Queen, using her single status as a political tool to keep foreign powers guessing. The greatest test, the Spanish Armada. The ultimate test came in 1588. King Philip II of Spain launched the largest fleet of warships the world had ever seen, 130 ships and 30,000 men, called the Armada, to invade England. While fear gripped the nation, Elizabeth showed no weakness. Wearing armor and riding a white horse, she stood before her army at Tilbury and delivered her most famous speech. "I know I have the body of a weak and feeble woman, but I have the heart and stomach of a king, and a king of England too." While fear gripped the nation, Elizabeth showed no weakness. Wearing armor and riding a white horse, she stood before her army at Tilbury and delivered her most famous speech. "I know I have the body of a weak and feeble woman, but I have the heart and stomach of a king, and a king of England too." Victory and the Golden Age. That night, the English Navy used fire ships to panic the Spanish fleet, breaking their formation. A great storm followed, destroying the remaining Spanish ships. Against all odds, England won. This victory launched England's Golden Age. English ships explored the globe, and the arts flourished. A young playwright named William Shakespeare began writing his masterpieces, and Elizabeth proudly supported the theater. The English language itself grew more beautiful and powerful during her reign. The final years and legacy. Elizabeth ruled for 45 years. Her final years were lonely as her closest friends passed away. Having no husband or children, the grand halls of her palace grew quiet. On her deathbed in March 1603, she named King James of Scotland as her successor, ending the Tudor dynasty. She died at age 69, leaving behind a nation far stronger and prouder than she found it. Your own choice. And so, my friends, ends the story of Elizabeth, a girl told she was nobody, who became England's greatest queen because she chose a dream bigger than herself. Right now, you are making a choice too. Every time you practice your English, you are choosing to grow. Learning a new language is not easy. Some days the words feel heavy, like walls closing in. But remember Elizabeth, she proved everyone wrong, and so can you. Every story you finish is proof that you are getting stronger. Keep listening, keep learning, and keep going. Tell me in the comments, what would you choose, love or a dream bigger than yourself? See you in the next story.